Mavrokolympos Dam. Lovely piece of water actually when you can get on the water. Bit of a problem with this site. It's surrounded by some fantastic off-road driving tracks, and that's great if you happen to have a Mitsubishi L200 and you can drive it in four-wheel drive, low ratio or high ratio. If you have a normal family car, then this is going to be a taxing site for you. I've got a friend actually who brings tourists around this site. The water itself is fine, you've got about a few hundred metres, and in fact I train here in kayaks, single boats that I can walk down to the water's edge. If you're talking about dragon boats or large crew boats, then unfortunately the way in is via helicopter. Here's the access to the what is actually the east side of the lake. I'm in four-wheel drive, low ratio. You can deal with it, of course, but if you're asking your paddlers to bring their family cars into here, hang on, we just go through a little ford. Obviously in the winter that might be a bit more than a ford. So the track itself in late summer is quite reasonable if you don't mind scratching your car, but for the rest of ordinary folk, if you're not a confident off-road driver, and I've got to take it easy actually trying to do this with one hand on the wheel, then you might find this a bit of a challenge. Like I say, it's a fantastic off-road driving circuit, and I quite enjoy driving around here myself. But bring your Range Rover, well, the Range Rover you want to look after, your Mercedes down here, and you may be struggling. Now this is the east end of the lake. Let me just excuse the bumps. That's down to the road quality. So let me just park it here. If you haven't sort of got the message about this site, let me just walk you down to the east side of the lake. Oop, there we go. Excuse that. So this is the east side of the lake. It's about a K, I think, from the gate that I've seen mention of. So I would say, if you looked at a simple, basic risk assessment, risk of damage, high, risk of personal injury, extremely high. Now we're talking late summer, we're not talking winter, and experienced though I might be at moving dragon boats around, short of a crane or the aforementioned helicopter, not really sure how you're going to get a dragon boat onto that stretch of water. It'll be an interesting teamwork exercise or initiative test. But like I say, the water itself when you get on there is really nice, and I train there myself in single kayaks. A little bit of detail on the road for you. When I say the road, it's a road at the moment, but next winter it might just be a hole in the ground. Okay, so continuing on, like I say, I love this place, but I don't love it for dragon boating. I love it for off-road driving and the seclusion of some quiet paddling. Now I'm in four-wheel drive in high ratio. The L200 will deal with this, but you can see we're probably on the limit of switching to low ratio as we go up. So if you bring your family car down here a few times, then if you don't mind buying a few clutches, then all will be well. A little bit of debris there that's falling off the side. One thing that is good, you won't meet many other people down here because they wouldn't be daft enough to bring their cars down here. But like I say, tourists like this because it's quite an exhilarating ride. But I suspect even if you're an off-road driver or keen or experienced off-road driver, you need to take it a bit easy, which is why I'm taking it quite slowly, because I've only got one hand on the wheel. This part is pretty good. This is the linking part between the east and the west sections of the lake or the dam. Nice wildlife. But But if you're thinking about bringing down a 12-metre dragon boat trailer, well, if you want to destroy the trailer, it's a really great option. But otherwise, it's okay. Here, I'm just going to take you around to the last piece that links through to the access track at the west end of the lake. Bear with me, nearly there. Okay, so okay, here we are, west end of the reservoir of the dam. That's the access road, if you can call it that. It is actually a proper road up until the signs saying enter at your own risk. There's somebody with his Honda who's come down here. Interestingly, when I first arrived here, there was an individual who drove his Mercedes down here, grounded it twice, and then sensibly turned it round and disappeared. So the access track, have a look at the quality of this. If you think about the quality of the track down to Yermasoya Dam, and then think in orders of magnitude, risk of injury high, risk of damage to property, boats high, risk of vehicles if you're stupid enough to bring them down here very high. There's a friendly fisherman, minds his own business. So if you're seriously thinking of bringing a crew boat down here, anything other than a small dinghy or a kayak, I would say it's a non-starter. But what I will say is, once you get on the water, providing you have sufficient water in the lake itself, okay, that was Mavrokolympos Reservoir, Mavrokolympos Dam, just off the Paphos Road, about 2 kilometres. You know, sometimes the clue is all around you. Have a great day.